What's going on, everybody? Gentleman94 here. Welcome back to Sci-Fi Wednesdays. We're back with the Enterprise E. As you can see here, we have the nacelles off, and we're going to be working on some painting today. Now, this section right back here has to be painted and detailed. Right here, this also has to be Aztec'd and detailed. On the top section here, we need to do some pinstriping along this flat section here, but overall, all that area is done. The back section right here for the impulse engines need to be red, as well as here on the nacelles themselves. Both of these Bussard Collectors have to be red, and this area right in there needs to be redone. Pylons need to be painted and detailed, as well as this side for the side touch-up area right there. So that's kind of our plan. We're going to work on the pylons, we're going to work on the nacelles, we're going to try to get these things pretty much squared away. One seam right there we do need to fix, so that's where we're going to start today. So let's go ahead and grab our stuff and get ready. So we're going to be airbrushing this very top here of the nacelle. There's this, I guess, raised panel line here that needs to be airbrushed this silver gray. So we've masked this off with some blue Scotch tape, and we are going to be using the silver gray color right through their airbrush. Now both of these need to be done on both sides, so I'm hoping that this is going to cover well enough. Now really, when you're masking stuff, you can use almost any type of tape. I would recommend painter's tape or modeling tape, but you could get away with Scotch tape if you really needed to. It doesn't hold as well, I find, and also it leaves a sticky residue behind, so try to go ahead and get some painter's tape. Also, burnish down the edges. I find that if you use maybe like a Q-tip or something soft to just burnish down those edges, you usually don't pull up the tape and you don't damage your finish. Just don't push too hard. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and paint this top of this, and we're going to move on to the next one and paint that one as well. It's a little bit tedious, but it needs to be done. Alright guys, you can see here, we have one completely finished, but we have to work on this area right in here. Now, last episode, I went ahead and I airbrushed the tops of the nacelles with the blue color, and then covered it with a clear blue. Unfortunately, I got a bit of overspray on the top of the pylon, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to mask this off. We're going to respray that area with my silver gray color. Now, I had that mixed up because I'm airbrushing different parts and pieces here and there and doing some touch-ups around the different areas here on the nacelle. Now, I'm going to lose a lot of my detail here, but that's okay. I still have my masks, I still have the paint I need, so all I have to do is come back after this dries, put down those masks, and shoot it again with the different colors. Shouldn't be too hard, and it is just touch-up, so it should be fine. Luckily, though, we do have to work on the pylon, so that's fine too. So we've moved on to the nacelles here, and we have our Bussard Collectors taped off, and we have our impulse engines taped off, so we are ready to start painting. I'm going to be using this right here. This is Shiny Red by Gunze, and we are going to be using this with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, and we're going to mix it up. Now, I'm not going to put too much isopropyl in there because this is decently thin paint, so I'll just put a few drops in there. Let's mix this up and get this ready. Now, I like the Shine Red because it's a little bit of a gloss to it, and these will be a bit glossy anyway, so that's perfect. I'm going to pour a little bit into this paint mixing cup, just a little bit, and we're going to put some thinner in there as well, and then we're going to get this ready for our airbrush. Some isopropyl, 70%, and we're going to mix it up and get this thing ready for a spray. Now, I'm probably going to spray at about 12 psi, and I'm going to just take nice, easy swipes across the area, get this all painted up. So let's go ahead and get it going. With these front areas here, I've already masked off. I used the Tamiya tape for the outline, and then I used blue tape for the larger areas, so I can eliminate, hopefully, overspray. Overspray is the worst. It's always in the one place you forgot to mask, but I hopefully have everything masked off, so I shouldn't have any overspray. And this has already been primed too, so that's perfect. I can go right over the primer coat, and we can just go ahead and layer up this red. Now, I'm going to go ahead and airbrush all these areas red, and then after this dry, I'm going to come back and I'm going to overcoat that with a clear red, also by Gunze. Once that clear red dries, it's hopefully going to give it a nice, deep, shiny red. And then I can come back and I can do a little detail work. It should be pretty simple, and I like this color red too. Looks a little orangey right now, but that's okay. It will actually deepen a bit when I add the clear red to this. Kind of why I want to go ahead and add that clear red. So we're going to move on here and move into the saucer section, get those impulse engines done. Now, the impulse engines themselves should be pretty simple. I'm just going to go ahead and just do a real rough coat of this shiny red. Then we're going to go ahead and let that dry a bit, and then we're going to come back and we're going to layer a few more layers on top of that. Once that is dry, I'm going to then come back and again hit these also with the clear red. This red is really going to pop when I get this all finished up. So let's add a few more layers, and then we're going to come back once it's dry, and we're going to add that clear red. Here's the clear red right here. We're just going to pour it right into our airbrush. No need to thin it. And we are just going to give it a nice layer coat over top of each of these red areas. And that's going to be it. Once this dries, it's going to darken, it's going to deepen that red. And I really like the look of clear red. So this is going to be hopefully perfect. So we're going to hit this, we're going to hit the impulse engines, and we're going to make sure that both nacelles are done and finished. A lot of paint to do, guys, just a lot of paint. Got to hit those impulse engines with the clear red as well. I'd like to do some sort of a wash on these, maybe like a dark wash. That should really make these pop even more, but all in good time. We're going to get the other side as well, make sure that both of these are nice and evenly coated. Yeah, this is looking really cool. Can't wait to see what this looks like when it's all together. Moment of truth, everybody. Let's go ahead and pull these masks off. I've used two different types of tape. Again, I've used the Tamiya around the inside for that fine edge, and I've used a blue tape around the outside for overspray. So with my pin vise, I'm going to pull off the Tamiya tape, and we should be able to hopefully have a nice clean edge. Let's just pull this up a little bit. Oh yeah, I can already see this is looking great. The Bussard Collectors here have to be exposed, and let's just pull off piece by piece, get this all straightened out. I really recommend the blue tape. Scotch blue tape is really quite effective. Now, I wouldn't recommend using it for fine detail. Again, that's more of a Tamiya job, but this tape does work exceedingly well for overall larger areas and for just general straight lines. All right, everybody, our nacelles are finished. As you can see, we have a little bit of overspray right here at top. That's expected. And we have a little bit of overspray right up here at top as well. Not too shabby. And this is what it looks like with the nacelles on and all the red done. I love the contrast of the red, the black, and the blue. This turned out very well. But there's always more detailed painting that needs to be done. So we're going to go ahead and call it here. Next time we're going to come on back. We're going to work on those pylons, get those straightened out. And we're going to work on the Aztecing for the very bottom of the engineering hull. And then the back shuttle bay area for that engineering hull as well. Lots to do, guys, but we are moving right along. Thank you so much for joining us here on Sci-Fi Wednesdays. Next week, we'll have some more Enterprise for you and hopefully get this thing closer to being done. Until then, guys, keep on building, and we'll see you soon.